Many times I've been asked, how did this seminary begin and what was the original vision? I should probably say that the seeds for this school began way back when I wasn't even a Christian. I was reading the book of Matthew as required by the high school I was in, and I got to the Great Commission, or the end of Matthew, and it said, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." Well, I backed up and read that a second time. "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." And I read it a third time. Then I sat back in my chair and said, well, if you really believe this stuff, you'd have to go. And of course, that is our vision. The vision of the school is to raise up leaders in every nation of the world who can teach others about the love of Christ, a love that can't be earned and a love that can never be lost. And if ever there was a world that was crying out for that kind of love right now, it's this one. It's a world full of hatred. Everywhere I go, there's hatred being promoted within the ranks of someone within that nation. I haven't been in one yet where it isn't true, with hatred being preached as a virtue and vengeance and all these things. More and more people are crying out for the love of Christ. Now, it's interesting when people talk about the Great Commission, so many of them just think evangelism. Go take the gospel to the world. Well, that's only half of it, isn't it? Because he says, baptize them in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. But it goes on to say, teaching them to observe all things which I've commanded you. So that incorporates evangelism and discipleship. Well, that requires some education. I've also found that most churches, without the proper trainings, slip off into legalism within at least a couple of years. That's what happened to the Galatians. And so Paul wrote the book of Galatians to try to get them out of the legalistic rut. Well, we all tend toward legalism. That's what Arnold Toynbee, the great historian, said of all religions, as a matter of fact. Some believe that we have to earn God's favor, that we can do good and thus win special blessings, especially material blessings in this world. Well, that's just not what the New Testament teaches. If we do what God asks, we'll certainly be blessed, but the blessings are primarily spiritual, both in this world and in the next.